How do you handle negative thought patterns? A lot of people ignore them. A lot of people just try and fill up their minds with more positive thoughts to drown out the negative thoughts. So how do you actually eliminate them at their root? My name is Lucas, and in this video, I'm going to be helping you to eliminate your negative thought patterns. The first thing you have to do is become aware of your negative thought patterns. Typically, when we experience a negative thought, we are just kind of reacting to it. We're not really in a state of presence. We're not very grounded in the moment. We're more so just lost in our thinking, believing what our mind is telling us, and just reacting to the thought that is arising in our head. So you have to build up the capacity to just observe yourself, basically self-awareness. Meditation is really powerful for doing this. Basically, you just sit and you just watch. You don't judge. You don't view it as a bad thing, a good thing. You don't try and push it away. You don't really try and pull on it either. You're just watching, right? And this is really important. Your awareness alone is healing. Your awareness alone is curative. Simply by witnessing it, you develop a little bit of detachment from it. Because when you have a negative thought, you're usually very identified with that thought. Your sense of identity is very locked into your mind. But by witnessing your mind, now you have a little bit of distance from it. You're able to kind of distinguish yourself from that negative thought. And with this comes a great sense of relief and a lot more power, because now you're seeing the thought clearer. You are able to actually begin to break out of the trance of continuously believing and identifying with your thoughts. And now you have more power, right? The next thing you actually want to do is to interrupt the spiral of negative thinking. Actually start questioning the thought. Is this thought true? How does this thought make me feel? Does this thought help me to reach my goals? You want to really start to question the negative thought that you've just experienced, right? Let's say you make a mistake and you start saying how you're a failure. Is this true? Is that just what I am? Is that who I really am? Am I just a failure? So really begin to challenge your own negative thoughts. You don't want to just continuously, unconsciously believe them. Because like I said, thinking is kind of like a flow. There's kind of just like a river. There's like a stream of thought, and we're just continuously buying into them over and over and over again. And you really want to just become aware of them and question them. This is how you begin to break out of the pattern. So after you've developed some awareness of your negative thoughts, and you've began to question them, you can reframe your negative thought with something that is just more helpful and healthy. So when a negative thought arises that says, I'm a failure, after you've made a mistake, after you've just messed something up, you can reframe it to, I'm learning and growing. I'm experimenting and I made a mistake and I'm adjusting to something more aligned, more truthful, something that works. So you want to begin to look at the situation from a different angle. You don't want to continuously buy into your more negative perceptions of the situation. You want to begin to challenge how you see it and begin to replace them with something that is more healthy, something that is more aligned with you. You also need to have a very compassionate energy to you. You need to actually investigate yourself, become aware of yourself, right? Challenge your thoughts, all this stuff. You need to do this with a sense of self-compassion, because we're not strictly rational here. We're not like debating ourselves in our head. That's not really going to take you anywhere. It's going to register inside of you at a much deeper level if there is an emotional charge to it. If you're investigating your negative thoughts with a sense of self-compassion and self-love, right? You actually have the feeling of that inside of you. It's going to really begin to rewire you. When you have some kind of negative thought, you have to pay very close attention to how you're actually feeling, because our thoughts often hold emotional charges in our body as well. If you talk about how much of a loser you are, your body is probably going to contract. It'll get tense in certain areas. There might be an impulsiveness in certain areas of your body. There will be reactivity in certain areas of your body. Basically, various impulses and tensions will start to come out, and you have to actually feel into them and kind of just begin to regulate your nervous system, kind of settle down, get more grounded inside of your body. And instead of continuously engaging in the negative thought patterns, instead of continuously feeding them energy. You have to instead learn how to have compassion for yourself. Learn how to generate a more loving energy towards yourself. And it's this loving energy that is really going to actually heal you. You're not going to really defeat your negative thought patterns by ignoring them or hating them or viewing them as like bad, horrible, wicked things that have to be eliminated. The way you're actually going to heal them is by loving them. It's by giving them love. So the words that you tell yourself in your head really aren't enough. You need to add an emotional charge to those words. You really need to build up that self-acceptance muscle. So you need to engage your heart in this process. It's not strictly rational. That isn't going to work. Next is a pretty interesting exercise that you can do. When you're really caught in negative thoughts and your body's really tense, you'll really notice it in your body. Your body, it's like a cheat code basically. Right? You'll have a negative thought, your body, just pay very close attention to your body, right? And watch its tension, watch how it like moves and reacts, watch where it feels irritated and closed. So when the negative thoughts arise and you're kind of trapped in them, visualize your younger self, because a lot of these wounds that happen to us are typically things that happened when we were fairly young, even before we could have memories. Like I'm talking ages like 0, 1, 2, like even, of course, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But a lot of these sort of core wounds happened to us before we could actually really remember what even happened. But they were stored inside of us. They impacted us and they really left a mark on us. So visualize your younger self. Visualize yourself at age 7 or 4 or whatever it is, and just hold them with care. You want to learn how to hold yourself like you're holding a newborn baby. You know that kind of gentleness that you hold a baby with, right? You can't scream at a baby. You can't hit the baby over the head. Really, you just want to hold it gently, rock it, and give it love, right? You want to like nurture it, right? You need to give that to yourself. You want to nurture those parts of yourself that are trapped in those sort of more negative, or we'll just say unhealthy patterns. Because like I said, a lot of those wounds happened when you were very young and they were kind of just stuck in place. They never really went anywhere. And that part of you, right, that pattern is still sort of acting from that original place, right? That original age that you were at when the wound happened. So that part of you can still, in a sense, believe that you're 5 years old and in need of protection. And if you don't act out this pattern, then something bad will happen, right? You won't get what you need. You won't get love. You'll be unsafe. You'll be abandoned, whatever it is. So visualize your younger self. Just give it a warm embrace, a very warm, gentle embrace. Next is to continuously practice these things. This kind of relationship to yourself is not built in 5 minutes. It's something you got to practice every single day. In order to build a relationship with another human, you have to continuously connect with them. You have to like feed it energy. It's the same thing with the relationship to yourself. You actually have to consciously build this kind of relationship to yourself, or else it's never going to exist. You have to practice it. You got to put in energy every single day. So that's it for this video. I'm doing one-to-one coaching. If you want bonus help, you can book a free call. Link is in the description. Take it easy.